guys. It's actually one that I recommended to Jammin to do, but the game patched before he got a chance to do it. Good thing I always keep a backup copy of the older versions of the game. This is actually going to be played through USB 3. I've noticed a little bit worse performance, but we'll see how it goes. Also doing this just before I got a scheduled phone interview, so a bit of fun there. What can I say? Well, this is actually me playing the game. I spent a bit of time in ranked a couple of days ago. It's actually been a little bit of a struggle for me to get back into it because I've been focused on getting pearls and getting the ARP Miyoko. Had a different job opportunity which unfortunately didn't turn out, which would have actually had me moving out of state, so I dropped my ranked to do this, to get the Miyoko, since I didn't think I might get another chance to get her later on. But I'm stuck here, still in Brisbane, still without a job. Okay, while we're waiting for the game to fully load, it's basically one thing I will recommend you guys do is pay attention to the chat. One of the things I find that happens a lot is the chat can sometimes be a lot more amusing than the game itself. That's not necessarily the case here. You'll see a team. I won't spoil it too much. Anyway, here we go. So you can see the lineup here. It looks like it's 2 battleships, 2 cruisers, and 3 destroyers on either side. Our team's got 4. Actually, we've got 1 less cruiser and 1 more destroyer. But and obviously giving us the upper hand with 2 Bensons. Now, Hank Yannick, in the enemy team, the enemy North Carolina, I'd actually played 3 games with him, and you'll see there's a lot of, actually in the last replay of mine that Jammin did, you'll have noticed that I requested he died with prejudice. It's because he was always a detriment to the team he was in. But here we go. I'm going to stick mostly with the player view. Sorry for the long load time. There you go, 96 Delta basically called out how Hank Yannick played the game, played all of his games. And yeah, I am still confused as to what the fuck all of these destroyers were doing shooting off to their starboard. What? You know, one thing I've never really noticed until recently when I stopped playing with music is all of the small, subtle engine sounds that these ships make. I quite enjoy it.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
You know, I never actually get an answer to that question about why they're shooting out to starboard at nothing. Might just turn my volume down a little bit, that was a bit loud. Yeah, 1 penetration, alright damage. But, you know, that was against the nose of the North Carolina on the side. It's probably the worst place to shoot a North Carolina apart from the Citadels, because I really don't see any shots that over-penetrate, so doing the 1000 damage, but I also don't see any shots that bounce off those areas. Oh, I love that little ring that that guns make afterwards, it's so cool. Doesn't actually look like my mods made it across in this game. That's okay. I'll show you guys the screenshots later on.
The ship is on fire!
So it set me on fire. I'm not too concerned about a fire because I can always recover that HP back. That was basically the main reason why I did that turn there, was because I knew there was going to be more shells coming, and it's easier to defend those shots when you're giving yourself the narrow profile. But I also find that the deck armor of a fully upgraded North Carolina is actually fairly tough. You really have to have big shells with plunging, or have them actually hit a component on the deck to do a lot of damage to it. So, you can see me lining up the shots, seeing if I could take on the Mayhem. I did call for the team to focus fire, but there was no way I was going to make that shot in the position he was in, so give up on that. What do we have here? We've got another North Carolina sailing, almost full broadside. And yeah, it's Hank Yannick, of course. And yeah, I don't know what the hell TxRogers just did there. That was, but that was a good move. That was almost made me worried about the end of the game already. Having the enemy cruiser. What was he? TxRogers, what was he in the Megami? Doing a double strike, so I'm assuming he did 2 torps, but I wouldn't have been able to see much unless I went free cam in the smoke. My computer's not that great to be able to do that. So you can see I'm kind of ignoring Hank Yannick. He's not much of a threat from previous games. I tried to go for the Night Ranger, but yeah, those aren't going to go anywhere, those shots. And now my opportunity to do a full broadside, Hank Yannick's gone.
Unable to maneuver!
That's at that point that I noticed that the Otago was trying to do a sneaky move, but it looks like when he saw me, he tried to turn around, which is sad for him because he ended up running aground.
The ship is on fire!
And that shaky mouse that you're seeing there, that's actually my leg that's doing that. Never actually get to see what sort of damage I did to him, but you know, 3 hits is 3 hits. I know at least one of them will have penetrated. Probably over penetrated. So, basically, I was going to turn around and cut through to A. That was my original
ship is on fire.
But seeing all those torpedoes in the water made me change my plans to basically play a bit more cautiously. And okay, so I did do about 7,000 damage to the Otago. That's okay. You can see the Otago pulling off. He's decided against trying to move around the long way. Try and take a shot at the Mayhan, who at the time was sitting there, but as you can see, he's backing up, and none of my shots hit. My personal experience when it comes to destroyer shooting in a battleship, yes, sometimes you just have your games where every single shot goes exactly where you want it to, and the destroyer just falls exactly where you're planning. Then you got other times where, like there, it's just everything is just a little bit off. It was probably a bad call of mine to shoot exactly where it was at, because I could have made the assumption that he was stopping to reverse, but I didn't. Looking at the torpedoes heading his way, I thought he had just stopped to wait for the torpedoes to pass right by his backside. So, reason why I didn't go after that Otago, once again, is just at the ranges we were at, I would have been having to shoot through the mountain to hit him. No point doing that. Try and take some shots at the Otago, the Mayhan, sorry, hoping that he'll actually sail right into them, but no. And you can see there in the chat, Bacon Excel basically trying to tell me to go back into the main battle by explaining a little bit that I was obviously trying to block their Otago from making the sneaky move. Kind of half true, it was just chance that I saw him there, but it worked out. So you can see basically the team's moving back onto A. I did see that the enemy team was moving towards B though, so once again I'm playing an area denial role this battle, and I see the poor little Benson 96 Delta sitting there all alone, so I decided to try and provide a little bit of cover for him, while the team goes and takes care of who's in A. It seems like a fair enough trade. And as you can see, I'm trying to offer some communication, explain, hey, the enemy team, they were last seen A moving towards B, but no one else seems to have paid much attention. You can see we've got North Carolina, it looks like he's turned back around to A. We've got White Ranger and TxRogers, the Megami, who did the double strike earlier. And holy shit!
Enemy heavily damaged.
8 of my 9 shells hit, penetrated most of them, and 1 Citadel penetration for 38,000. Even when I see that shot now, I still have the same reaction 2 days later, is holy shit, what a volley.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
That was effectively 50% of the North Carolina's HP. I followed up with a 9,200 hits. Probably 2 of those shells actually penetrated.
All stations reporting the position
2, maybe 3.
strategic target.
And you can see the Night Ranger, his repair party is finally finished. And he's still on the way.
The ship is on fire.
Use my repair party, which basically puts me at 1 repair party left. This is unusually fast for me burning through my repair parties.
The ship is on fire.
And once again, I'm calling out. So I did 7,000 damage to him.
Problem solved, sir.
Alright, here we go. Time to finish off the build.
battleship sunk.
So at this point I decide to leave 96 Delta to be because I honestly didn't think he would really need much more help at this point. See, I'm still positioning myself to take some shots at him as I leave. I don't want to miss out on the opportunity for extra damage while I've got fully loaded guns. And only one hit, one penetration.
The ship is on fire.
That's okay. Yeah, and because the team's basically at this, from that point where they were calling me out for being too far away from the rest of the battle, I decided to have a stab back at them. BB incontinence indeed. And I explained to the Benson that I need to pull back, need to heal, use my last repair party. And I notified the team that at this point, once I've finished using my repair party, that's it.
Problem solved, sir.
That's all the health that I've got left to spend for the team. Because my leg's shaking, I couldn't get a clear shot on it until now. But let's just see what this does. It's got 14,000 HP left. Only one penetration. That's okay. But yeah, I totally did not see it, that bacon excel until far too late to do anything.
Torpedo support.
He's still trying to turn himself around and get himself out of danger.
Torpedo.
That'll be his last mistake.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
All stations, proceed to capture that area. Affirmative. I need fire support.
And yeah, look at the chat. You can see that 96 Delta, he's now copping the brunt of the enemy team, of the allied team. He's not actually doing anything at the moment though. He's just kind of sitting there going, hey, I captured B, I held it for this long. But at this point, I kind of agree with the team. He wasn't doing a whole lot. He could have had a bit more of a role in whole defending B. So we've got, what have we got left on the enemy team to take down? We've got TxRogers and his Megami, we've got the Benson and the Mayhan left, and on our team it's the North Carolina, Amagi, Otago and a Benson. 96 Delta at B, not really doing much though. And you can see me calling out to our Otago, Bacon XL, to tell him to go into A. I'm fully loaded, I'm ready to cover him. That's when the Mayhem appears on his starboard, and unfortunately I got no clear shot. There's no point going into sniper view because the shots would still go through the mountain at that point. One thing I learned basically through ranked is that you don't take a ship that you don't fully know and understand properly into battle, because it's only going to make you a detriment to your team. So I kind of leave it for now. But as you can see, Bacon XL's had clear capture today, which is good.
Our victory is in sight.
And the Mayhem pops up again. Looks like he was waiting to top us. And my secondaries get me a high caliber.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Don't fire at your allies.
I still don't know whether that was a secondary
Torpedoes,
or a
direct
shell
front.
that hit Amagi, but it didn't do a whole lot of damage. That, I never actually bothered going to free cam ever to see how close that was, but that would have been very, very close, that last torpedo. And as you can see, now the team has gone, yeah, the team's gone full retard, they're attacking each other, and I'm trying to tell the team, you know what, we've got this battle, stop complaining, you know, stop whinging, because at this point it's irrelevant. Because what have they got left? They've got a Benson and a Megami. And we've got an Otago, an Amagi, and me and my North Carolina. There's just, the odds of them pulling a win is not very high at this point, especially with the 90 points difference, or 100 points difference, yeah, 91 points difference. And the Benson ran into the Mogami. But he at least pulled off some smoke. Did offer some cover until TxRogers moves out.
Confirmed penetration.
Nice Citadel. So one of those shots would have over-penetrated, did nothing. One hit the Citadel and the other did penetration for fraction damage. And, yeah. Bacon XL, you had a good run, my friend. Now you can leave it all to me. And I'm just going to go to free cam so you can read that chat better there. You can see...
Torpedo, dead ahead.
Yeah, it got pretty ugly in the chat. Go back to player club. Not really hoping to kill this Benson at this point. Because whether we kill him or not, it's irrelevant. The game's over. At least in my eyes. Two of the shots hit. They would have over-penetrated maybe 1,020, 1,050 damage each shot. And yeah, once again, still in the chat, they're at each other's throats. Isn't what's most important in ranked battles the fact that you can pull a victory or not? Alright, and on to the screenshots. So I just got to wait to make sure that my streamer is actually keeping up with me. It's a little bit behind. I do all of this just on the fly through OBS. I find, in my experience, that it's less CPU taxing if I do it this way, rather than having video editing software at home, you know, and then uploading it, because it just takes too long. So 300,680 damage, 2,997 experience, high caliber, dreadnought, and obviously 150 free experience, 3 Citadel hits total, 2 ships sunk, and 38 hits. Oop, that's not the picture I wanted. This is the one I wanted. So the XP scores, you can see me on 1,998 base experience total. The next closest to us was Bacon XL, and once again, actually, Hank Yannick did more to the battle, to contribute to the battle, than the Night Ranger North Carolina. But, well, Night Ranger actually contributed a bit. He contributed to my 129,000 damage game, and 594 damage by secondary shells. That would have been to the Mayhan. All in all, it was a fun game. A little bit of a shame that my team were at each other's throats by the end, but I had a bit of fun with it, had a decent bit of damage, and got to show off a little bit of the potential damage that you can do in a single salvo with only one Citadel. Anyway guys, have a good day.